Hey, I was asked to go over the Euro USD and just maybe a month breakdown on it. So I will go ahead and start. You can see that we're on the day chart. So again, if you're not familiar with that, each one of these candlestick represents an entire day's worth of information. So you can see this is back at the beginning of the year and to now. So there's a few things on this chart. Obviously, we had our uptrend. It was a consolidation channel that we came into a forced wedge pattern here, and a little while ago, maybe a month or so ago, looks like 417, 420 is when it broke out of that pattern, or maybe 421 is where we had that support and resistance move. Remember, this is a bounce off our 61.8, so our long-term 61.8. If it would have broken up into this range in this forced wedge, I would say obviously long the euro long-term, but obviously we came down, the US dollar made that big move, and we literally just moved back down to the previous support and resistance, about that buck 15 level. So we made that move from a buck 22 to a buck 15. So you're talking about a 700 pip move, pretty significant, quick move. And that was all obviously due to the US dollar strengthening, and that's what we've been talking about recently. The US dollar strengthening shows a lot of maybe weakening in the stock market and so on. Obviously, the big money dump and a lot of money's come into the USD recently. So as far as projections right now, I really like this trend line across the top as a forced pattern now. So this blue trend coming across the highs. We're obviously a ways away from it though. So for it to resist all the way back up to here, we're talking at least 20, 30 days before we get up to it. If it moved in a normal market pattern, because of this big move, obviously a slow move should be coming. But what I really like, and this is a long-term Fibonacci you see here. So this is their 61.8 is about a 125 level, $1.25, and the support here. This is our 38% level. It kind of is in a little bit of a range. So I think what it's trying to represent here. Remember this Fibonacci, so it's not always exact, but I think this area has a lot of support. So my aspect or my outlook on it right now is probably a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of a sideways moving market. So we'll look for that for the next little bit. But I'm not going to look to trade this really heavily until one of two things happen. Either this $15, 16 level is broken to take another short and continue short on this down to at least, I mean, we're talking down to a buck 11, so that's another 500 pip move. Or it really needs to break out of this upper trend, but I'm not even super comfortable with that. I'm not looking to long this market on a more long-term swing trader scale until we really break outside of this 125. If we get outside of the 125, I mean, we're talking moving up to $1.32, maybe even $1.38, and then we have a lot of movement there and a lot of profitability there. But as of right now, we have this trend line across the bottom. So this is our branch trend, right? We had a consolidation channel that it followed for quite a while, and this is our low beginning trend. So I've drawn this trend line in here to kind of match with our low touch just recently. So until it makes a decision, either breaking this short or maybe breaking the trend line, which would be maybe $1.21 or so. More importantly, though, breaking this $1.25 mark, I'm feeling a lot more short on the market right now. This big move here, and obviously, if you've talked about or seen any of our other stuff with our currency scanner, our index, it looks like the dollar is going to go long. So my assumption here, it would be probably 65-35, maybe even 70-30 that we're going short. I'm not going to look for a trade on this market until it really breaks out of this 115 or 116 level. And that ideal situation would be a consolidation pattern. And what that would look like, if you were to drop a new Fibo from here to here, what that should look like is it staying in this green range. Let's say the stock market falls immediately. Obviously, we'll just break out really soon on that. We'll have a really good tradable market from this in this section. But I would assume it either hits this level and stops and then breaks, or maybe even retraces all the way back up to this high. And you can see why I was saying that same level up high there. Let me get rid of that. And you can see this $1.20 level really is the major resistance. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the euro dollar. More of a swing trader, long-term look, a monthly outlook. I would say 65-35 right now short. maybe 70-30 looking short, but I think this level being our decision making point would be the ideal waiting point to take any positions on. Hope this helps, guys. Take care.